Okay, take your total body weight, divide it by 2.2, and take that number, multiply it times 1.5, and that will give you the total number of grams of protein you should consume a day to put yourself actually in what we call positive nitrogen balance, so you can start building muscle instead of losing muscle. And then you take that total number of grams, divide it by 7, because there's 7 grams in 1 ounce of protein. And you'll have the total number of ounces or grams. So you can look at packages of protein powders, see how many grams you're getting with one drink. If you're getting 23 grams in one glass of protein powder, maybe you want to do that twice a day for 46 grams. There's maybe a third of what you need or half of what you need.
That's really good information.
It's helpful.
Okay. Fats and oils.
Yes.
Tell us about them. I know it was coming up.
Fats and oils.
Fats and oils.
Fat phobia. Everybody's fat phobic in America. Oh, fats.
You can't really blame them, though. Every time
Don't
you look
make
around,
me eat 'em.
low fat this, no fat here, no oil here.
Okay.
Oh, it's incredible.
Good point. Americans, never buy low fat again. Who's going to come after me?
I don't know.
Okay, you never need to spend another dime for anything low fat or non-fat. Okay? Really,
Especially
you
if
don't.
you're chasing this good protein that's running up and down the field.
Right. And the reason for that is when you look at the American diet, everyone's missing fats now, and we're seeing all types of essential fatty acid related deficiencies, diseases, chronic health problems, including hypoglycemia, hypothyroid, fibromyalgia, Raynaud's syndrome, which is, that cold tip of the fingers and toes and nose, those types of things. All types of circulatory problems, all types of energy problems are related to missing oils in the diet, or essential fatty acids. So the key here is what is an essential fatty acid versus what is a saturated fatty acid. An essential fatty acid is a good, much needed, very necessary, on a daily basis oil that you need to put into your body. And it comes from raw seeds, raw nuts, avocados, olives, and cold water fish. Okay, that's why I tell people you should consume like fish at least 3 or 4 days a week, and consume your animal products 3 days a week, and maybe do a vegetarian day one day, or do beef one day a week, or venison or buffalo one day a week. But you need to take these oils in your body every single day. Now, I had a girl she's lifting weights. She came in and she's doing really well. She had a lot of health problems. She was young, 32 years old. And she was really nervous about fat. So she came in, I said, why aren't you consuming any oils? Well, she dropped like a pound in 1 week. And I said, if you're following this diet correctly, you should be dropping at least 2 pounds every week, this protocol that we laid out for her. And she goes, well, I'm really nervous about my fats. And I said, well, first of all, fats are saturated. Oils are unsaturated. Unsaturated fats help you to burn stored saturated fat on your hips, your thighs, your buttocks, da-da-da-da-da-da. So you have to get the unsaturated fatty acids in every single day. I have people consume all of their oils from unsaturated fatty acids, okay, not from saturated fatty acids. So if you consume those unsaturated fatty acids, you're going to be in great shape, but you need at least 30 grams a day. Now we're back to grams. How much is a gram? All right. To get 30 grams a day, you would have to consume like a tablespoon of a raw cold-pressed oil. It should be organic, and it should be straight from those raw seeds and nuts we talked about before. That oil should come from walnut, safflower, flaxseed oil. The Essential Balance oil is great. The Udo's oil is great. It's a combination of all those omega-3, 6, and 9s together. Those are the fat burners and the immune boosters.
And that was called Udo's?
Udo and Essential Balance.
And
They're
Essential
both
Balance.
very good.
Okay, all right.
And there's some other ones out there. People are starting to copycat them. So, these oils you should take in at least 2 tablespoons a day, but 1 tablespoon gives you 14 grams of oil or fat. But it's unsaturated. It's a fat burner, and it increases immunity. It will increase your body temperature. It helps with circulation, helps with digestion, helps with memory, helps with hormone balancing, many things. Okay? So you should do that every day. Now, if you do 1 tablespoon a day, it's only 15 grams of fat. Well, this girl was maybe doing 10, so I pointed out to her, for somebody who doesn't exercise 6 days a week like you need at least 30 to 35 grams of fat a day, or oil, and you're only getting 10 or 15. Why are you doing that? You're exercising like a crazy woman here, so that's okay, but if you're going to do that, you must supplement more. The body needs more. So if you do, say, a tablespoon of raw seeds or nuts, you've got another 5 grams of fat. If you did 6 olives, large olives, there's another 5 grams of fat. If you did a half of an avocado, that's about probably 10 to 12 grams of fat.
I see.
Okay, but they're unsaturated. Now, I have a lot of dietitians telling my clients who work, dietitians work in hospitals,
Yes.
not to eat avocados. They're too high in saturated fat. All you have to do is pull out the Department of Agriculture's, the nutritional content of foods booklet, which is a book we use in undergraduate school. It shows you exactly how much unsaturated poly and monounsaturated fat there is in a food, and it's very obvious to see that a avocado is very, very low in saturated fat, higher in mono and higher in poly. It's a plant. It's a seed.
It's a seed. Right.
So it's a healthy, beneficial fat for you. Yes, if you sit down and eat 6 avocados a day, you're probably going to get a little pudgy, but not many people would. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you can't stop eating it, don't start. Or just go and eat it out of the house. Don't keep it at home. So some people tell me they can't stop when they eat seeds and nuts. So I go, well, then don't carry the whole bag with you. Just take a small handful.
That's a good idea.
This little area right here, this little
Yes.
pocket is about a tablespoon.
Surprisingly enough, when you do that, and you had mentioned that on one of the other shows, and I had started doing that because I have a practice and I'm working very long hours, and just a little bit sometimes helps so much. Raisins, nuts.
Sure, pull your blood sugar
Yeah,
up.
it really does, and it feels wonderful. Got to ask you another question.
Sure.
I got lots to get in here, and that is, people are always talking about carbohydrates.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about carbohydrates.
Okay.
I get these crazy athletes and these long-distance runners saying, I'm carbohydrate loading.
And all your vegetarians.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, carbohydrates are basically what we call energy food. Now, again, we kind of tapped on this in the beginning of the show here, but there are what we call 3 classifications of foods. They're either, live, or they're dead, or they're highway robbers. They come into your body and they stick you up and take out all your vitamins and minerals. The same goes for carbohydrates. Okay, the little banditos are the bad guys.
I see.
The dead ones are kind of benign, and then we've got the live one. The live carbohydrates are fruits and vegetables, and then our whole grains. And in the order of importance, vegetables are first, fruits are second, and our whole grains, like our rice, our potatoes, our beans and legumes, our sweet potatoes, our starchier vegetables, like our corn and our peas, are in that category. They're what we kind of call the healthier foods. If you eat too much of the rices, though, you may have trouble losing weight.
Oh, really?
Okay, yes. I have people come in all the day and they're like, well, I'm only eating 2 cups a day. Well, it's very high in the glycemic index, so it creates more sugar in the body.
Okay.
So even though they're healthy and they're really beneficial, watch them a little bit. Do more of the fruits and vegetables. If you plan your diet, Kurt, to where you're doing 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, that's a lot of eating.
Yes.
That's doing 2 cups of vegetables at lunch and 2 cups of vegetables at dinner and 3 pieces of fruit every day. And then you calculate how many grams of protein you need, and then you calculate how much oil you need. Your diet's set for you. That's not going to leave any room for Fritos and, potato chips and buns and things like that.
Oh,
See what
I
I'm
see.
saying? So we really, really want people to consume more of the live carbohydrates. The doughy carbohydrates are pastas and breads and bagels and scones and our colas
I'm glad
and
you
our
said that.
diet
I'm glad
colas.
you reiterated, because this is the trouble that a lot of vegetarians run into.
Right.
They start implementing
Right.
the doughy foods because they're starving.
Well, sure, and they're easy and they're fast, but they're not the answer because they bring to the table no nutritional value. Anything that is processed, Kurt, it's in a bag. It goes off to the laboratory to be changed from its original constituency. It is no longer a live food. And those live foods contain very little to no nutritional value. They will not nourish your cells. They will not heal your system. They will not regenerate and help you birth healthy new cells.
I see.
Okay, so you have to look at the percentage of liveness in your diet versus deadness or doughiness. Okay, and then you've got the very high processed foods that have additives, chemicals, coloring agents like your Fritos and your Wheat Thins and your Triscuits with the hydrogenated oils. And then you go beyond that and go to low-fat Entenmann cookies and cakes and candies and snacks and those fat-free
These are biblical
yogurts.
foods, right?
Those fat-free yogurts are a big hit with women, and you know what? They're all sugar. So if you're
Really?
eating all sugar,
Whoa, back up.
what?
The fat-free yogurts are
Are all sugar? Absolutely. Or they're
Oh,
fake
rain on my
sugar.
parade. And
Yes.
oh my goodness, that's interesting.
Well, you
I
know
know
what?
half of America just went, what?
Let's pay
Interesting.
attention to this real quick.
Yes.
A food is either a protein, a fat, or a carbohydrate.
Okay.
There are delegations within each of those foods. So it's a lean protein or it's a highly saturated protein. It's going to be a lean fat or oil, or it's going to be a highly saturated oil like margarine or butter or dairy products. It's going to be a lean carbohydrate, or it's going to be a fattening carbohydrate that's high in sugar. So anything that has the fat taken out of it is going to be replaced with sugar or with sodium, or a sugar substitute, which even though it is a fake sugar, will be converted by the liver to a sugar because it most relates to a sugar. It looks to the body, to the liver, like a sugar molecule. So it's not like, you've been changed in the laboratory, so you're not going to be fattening. It's like, kind of looks like a sugar molecule, so hey, it is. And if you don't need that excessive energy or sugar in the body, your body stores it as fat.
That's incredible.
So
I always,
watch your frozen yogurts.
sneak in some education here, and I learned something. All right, I got to go quickly, but I want to know about water, minerals, and vitamins.
Okay, how important are they?
Yes.
Water, if you don't have water, you can't break down your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. And Americans are water deficit. Most people consume coffee and sodas and count that as their liquid. Not so. Juices do not count. Juices are very high in that glycemic index, by the way. They're in the 90s and 100s, so they're all sugar. Even if they're natural and organic, it's all processed. When you lose the fiber in fruits, you lose the available complexity of it. So water is important. I tell people you need to consume at least 8 cups a day, and that's pure water. We're not talking lemonade with sugar added to it or teas and things like that. Pure water. Your body is 70% plus of water. If you don't drink water, you're recycling all your toxins. It's like using dirty dishwater over and over again, washing your dishes in it every night. You don't want to keep washing your cells in dirty water. Okay, you need fresh, clean water to purify, cleanse, and detoxify,
I like
and to
that.
transport
That's
your
good.
nutrients.
That settles well. You can see that,
Yeah.
in your mind. That's so good.
And vitamins and minerals are not in place of a healthy diet. They are to supplement an otherwise an optimal diet, but you must have the food present for the vitamins and minerals to work. So let's say you have a cup of coffee at breakfast and a bagel. Now, what's in the bagel? Negligible amounts of nutrients at all. There's nothing in coffee. It's a carcinogenic, toxic chemical. It's a drug. It's in the PDR. So here you have something that has no nutritional value. You're taking a handful of B vitamins, some C's, and you have nothing for those vitamins or minerals to jump on board as a choo-choo train to transport those vitamins and minerals to their call, their place of need in the body. So don't take vitamins and minerals unless you're eating foods to utilize them well. How's that?
Well, that's great, and we're kind of pressed for time, but why don't you tell me something about the typical American diet, or tell
It
us something
stinks.
like it stinks. Okay, good.
Do more live food, folks, and you'll be
Live
there.
foods, okay.
Yes,
My goodness.
absolutely.
One quick, how can a balanced diet benefit those suffering from obesity?
Well, if you start balancing those proteins to fats and carbohydrates, energy goes up and weight goes down.
That's great.
Simple as that.
That's great.